Yeah, man, you changed my life, Chris. I mean, you put everything on the table and you made me decide whether I wanted it or not.
Welcome to the Start Today podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cavallini. Today, we have not one, but two very special guests in the building. But before we get to introducing them, I would like to introduce my companion and co-host, Rick Schaff. Rick, what's happening?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being with us.
They are, in fact, being with us, and here we are. It's, what time is it right now?
It's past me. Is it past
Yeah,
midnight?
it's 12:14 a.m. 12:14 a.m. I mean, the work never stops.
You
Yeah.
gotta catch up with these rock stars.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm really, really excited about this. Super excited about this because a long time coming. We have talked about this probably since we first launched the podcast, which has been like 18 months ago.
Yeah.
But the schedules just didn't really seem to coordinate, but it actually worked out really good because a lot has happened. And I think this is the perfect time to have these guys on. So I guess without further ado,
Hey.
we might as well go ahead and introduce our guest.
Absolutely.
In the building, ladies and gentlemen, my friends and WWE superstars, Rey and Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Boys, what is up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, what an introduction, man.
Man,
for having us.
Well, first of all, let me just say how awesome it is to be able to introduce Dom now as a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
Because a few short years ago, Dom was introduced as an FNG, aka a f***ing new guy
Yes.
at Nutrition Solutions.
Yes.
We'll get into all that, but it is really, really cool, Dom, to see you in the game now. And man, I'm so proud of you. And just when you used to just pop up randomly in the crowd, I was proud then, but seeing you in the game now, competing at a very high level, it's f***ing awesome, man. And I know you worked very hard to get to this point.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You can
Been a
only
wild
imagine,
ride.
as a father, how I feel. I mean, you mentored him in his first steps, leaving home, now that which we will talk about in a minute, but you can only imagine the feeling I get as a father.
Yeah. So actually, we're recording late tonight, Friday or Saturday morning now, 30th of January. This will drop Monday, so it'll be February 1st, I believe.
I think so.
You guys just filmed SmackDown. You
Yep.
came straight from the arena. How'd it go tonight?
Good. I had a match with Corbin.
Were you guys live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Live on Fox. Didn't go my way, but I think there's always another day.
Yeah.
Still learning process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That was my 10th official match.
Really?
Yes.
So, God, there's just so much to talk about in like the order of which to unpack this.
Yeah.
But just so many amazing stories in one. But before like we get into like all that, we planned on doing this over a month ago.
Yeah.
We initially planned on doing this a month ago. We had it on the schedule. And a few days prior, you guys got COVID.
yeah, crazy. It was
And-
actually on my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, December 11th.
Well, look, that's a good segue.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really good segue. We don't need to really discuss too much about COVID. Perhaps we will. But, you were supposed to be here the week after your birthday.
Yep.
And I had gotten a little something for you.
Ah,
Yeah. So let me,
Oh,
here. So what do you think we got in here?
I was hoping you were going to give me one of them guns right there.
So, you were supposed to be here the week after your birthday. This is, in fact, your birthday present, as
Yeah.
evidenced by the wrapping paper.
Yeah.
And I want to
Nice.
go ahead and give you that right now, my man.
You did not have to.
No,
but
I wanted to.
I fucking love you and I appreciate it.
Go ahead and pop that open.
Okay. I'm going to be like a little kid. I'm not
Yeah.
going to worry about the wrap or anything. Ooh, right down my, look at that.
Yeah. So that's a bottle of Dom. And
Touch.
so do you recognize that photo? Well, go ahead and pop it open, brother.
I was like, am I missing something?
I don't know. Pop it open. Hey, if you think the box is cool.
Oh.
Check that out.
Oh,
Yeah. So the people who are listening, yeah, take that all in.
wow. Look look at all these.
It's a nice box.
Yeah. So
Rey
so
Mysterio.
so Ray, check out that picture. That is obviously, you remember.
Statement.
Yeah.
Huge statement.
The work we did, man,
Yes.
leading up to your return in 2018 to the Rumble.
Damn.
You came in looking sharp. That was the outfit.
Wow.
And man, happy birthday, brother.
Man,
What do you think?
I f***ing love it.
I knew you would.
This is dope.
I knew you would.
You
So
know,
for those
thank you
who are
very
listening,
much.
you're welcome, man. Give me some love here. I love you, brother.
Love
Look,
you too.
for all you guys listening, you know, we could probably see this on YouTube. We'll put out some content on Instagram. I have you guys had complimented numerous times since I gave you the tour of Nutrition Solutions about the artwork. I have a phenomenal artist that has come here and done all kinds of amazing stuff to make our facility just more vibrant and just lively and kind of consistent with our culture and the vibe that we have going here. And his girl, his name is War, incredible artist, done a ton of stuff for me.
Right.
His girl Rachel is also an artist, and she actually did that.
Yeah.
That's
And
really nice.
yeah, I mean, she is super f***ing talented, as you can see. And man, I basically told her a little bit about you. You're from San Diego, the 619.
Right.
I said, look, he's into Louis, he's into nice things. And I did explain to her the significance of that picture from that event. And literally, she did the rest. And I when I saw it, I was f***ing floored.
Yeah, I mean, I've been given a lot of things for Christmas, birthdays, but this is one of a kind.
It's cool, right?
This is very, very special. Very, very special, man. I love it. I love it like you have no idea.
Awesome,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Leave that
Damn.
bitch on the table.
Yeah, that's not gonna get opened up. That's staying there. That's staying there. That's custom.
So, Dom, you're in the game now. You're in the game now. And what a lot of people probably don't recognize is, you know, obviously you grew up the son of Rey Mysterio. And, you know, a lot of people would probably think that from a very early age, this was a path that you wanted to pursue. But that's not the case.
It's not. I played soccer and football, and I started playing those sports when I was about 8 years old, and then those kind of just carried on through high school and middle school and stuff. And I never crossed my mind to wrestle or anything. Plus, my high school never had like a wrestling team, so I'm sure if they did, that would have sparked an interest. But they didn't have anything, so I just stuck with soccer and football. But once junior college hit and I got in there, I told my dad I wanted to give it a try, and it was like love at first sight.
And this was, what year was this?
That was about 2017.
Mid-
Yeah.
mid-
Yeah,
mid-17.
because when I first met you, Dom, that wasn't on the agenda.
No.
At all. You were playing ball, and there was no plan. You were going to school, and there was no plan. And and good on you, Ray, for not trying to push that on him, which a lot of people in your position might.
Right.
What was it like when he approached you and had that conversation and let you know that, hey, Pops, this is something I seriously want to pursue, and I'd love to follow in your footsteps. As a father and a legend in the industry, what did that feel like?
It was shocking because, like you said, I never pushed him to lean over towards wrestling or to follow in my footsteps. I kind of just saw him very busy in his world, like playing football, which was probably the main sport that he liked to play at the age of 17 and 18. And I just never thought that he would come up to me and ask me, Pops, I want to try and make it in this business. So when he broke that news to me, I was like, wow, really? Like, it was just, didn't expect it. And said, I'll be the first to let you know if you have what it takes. I remember I got Conan, his godfather, together, and I told him, let's jump in the ring with him and see if right off the back, we know if he's going to pick up or not. And sure enough, first steps he took in the ring, it's like he was picking things up so fast. And that only happens with natural talent.
It's true.
And like he said a couple times, all the years that he traveled with me as a kid, when we did the storyline with Eddie, he was 7 years old, and he soaked all of that in without even knowing that
Right.
one day
Yep.
this was going to be his destiny.
Yeah.
So it was just beautiful.
Yeah. So how long have you been in the business now?
32 years.
Should we put that on the floor there, maybe?
Good.
Oh, no.
I just don't want it
in
to
the
mess
middle.
up your shot. Cool.
Yes.
You've been in the business 32 years.
32 years. I had my first match in 1989.
And how old were you?
I was 14 going into 15 years old, which was completely different because, he was 19 when he asked, Dad, can I try and make it in this industry?
So,
It's funny, Chris. I'm sorry to interrupt,
please.
but I have albums of pictures, that I collected over the years, and my first paycheck, which was I believe 150 pesos, is in one of my albums, and it says April 15th, 1989. So I decided to not spend that money, but put it here as a reminder. This is what I made on my first day of wrestling. My first check ever. My
How
first
much
pay.
is that
Yeah, I was
American
gonna say,
dollars?
how much is that in dollars?
So at the time, it might have been
Yeah,
equivalent to maybe $5-10.
That's crazy. Huh? Wow.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
come up a little bit. You've come up a little bit since. But what I don't want to make this about me, but what's really worth pointing out, and something that I just feel is very proud, and right now, being here, being able to interview you, having Dom on, from a very young age, I mean, we've had this conversation in private. I looked up to you a great deal. I still do in a lot of ways. I remember being 12 years old in my grandmother's basement, watching you on ECW on the Spanish channel at 1 o'clock in the morning. That was the time in Boston. It was on I believe Friday nights at 1 a.m. And I, as a 12-year-old, that's very late to stay up. So what I would do is I would set my alarm and I would wake up to watch the shit. And for me, I was always gravitated towards you because you were a smaller guy, and I was always a shorter kid.
Right.
So it was like, wow, this guy's out here just killing it and just kicking all these other guys' asses. And at that time I was still kind of bought into the idea that and it was just fucking awesome. And to be here in the room with you right now, and just all the work that we've done together, we've done a lot of cool shit,
Oh my God.
and we're just getting started.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's fucking awesome, man. And I just want to say, man, thank you for everything that you've done for me and the company, and just the opportunity to be part of you guys' journey in a small way.
Well, I want to say thank you back, because the fact that I got to meet you and then started up an incredible relationship right off the beginning. You've taught me so much in the last 6 years that we've known each other, and you've mentored me in a very good way that I needed, and I think we were meant to eventually cross paths
Damn
and to
right.
do what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and when we met, you were not in WWE.
No.
You had left WWE. You were doing your own thing. You're working independent shows, making a ton of cash, not working as much as the WWE schedule
Right.
required at that time. We met through a mutual friend, and we just got to talking about the fact that you wanted to get a little more disciplined. At that point, you were making too much money and got a little comfortable. I mean, look, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm out of line here.
150 pesos, come on.
You'd come up from that, but you weren't taking your training and the eating as seriously as a professional athlete of your caliber should. And good on you for being self-aware of that. And we started putting in the work, and you started getting in better shape. And somewhere along that journey, you decided to make a call to me one day with a request about your son.
Yes.
Would you care to tell our listeners a little bit about that?
Of course. So I had been, like you said, not traveling as much because I wasn't signed to a major company. I wasn't with WWE at the time. And I was working every now and then, or when I wanted to get bookings. But my son, on the other hand, had no future ahead of him. He wasn't playing football. He was going to community college, but he would go whenever he wanted to. And I didn't see him in the right direction. And I had no idea what direction he wanted to take, but I did want to find out. So I ended up asking him, what is it that you want to do out of your life, because there's nothing happening. Now, prior to this, my wife and I had gone into it a couple times because my wife has always been very defensive, and that's
Of her
my
children?
baby boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just because it's her son, but she's been like that with my daughter as well. And my wife appreciates so much the work that I do, but I was worried about Dom. He was getting older and he was still at home. He wasn't doing nothing. So we sat down, broke it down to him. What is that you want? And I think you had told me, right, that
Well, at that point I was already training, but remember I had gotten hurt.
yes,
I had something up in my back, and then I used that to just not do anything anymore.
excuse, yeah, which we tend to do.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all
yeah,
do.
of course.
We all do, yeah. But eventually, it was time for him to make a big change, and that big change was to leave home and be independent.
Yep.
And I remember talking to my wife. I need to set him up with Chris and have him leave. At least he's going with someone that I know and that I know would look after him, not take care of him,
Right.
but just would have his back if he needed it. And that's when I reached out to you.
And thank you for doing that. Like, what an honor that was for me to be on the receiving end of that phone call, and for you to have that trust and belief in me. And it was a very humbling experience, because I got it. You saw a situation that you felt could be improved upon, and you thought that your son needed to basically go off into the wild and learn how to hold his own and be independent and have structure and learn the importance of discipline. And you had some weight to lose at that point.
Yes.
Let's
A
not
lot
forget
of
about
weight,
that. You had a lot of weight to lose at that point. We just did a little walk around Nutrition Solutions, where the team was, gracious enough to put some pictures of all of us up on the screens. And there was some of the pictures from back in the day, which, you look like a totally different person now. How much weight did you lose in your time here?
Total?
Yeah.
Or just here?
In the time that when you came here?
I lost about 60 pounds.
Holy shit.
Came in weighing.
I came to Tampa and I was weighing 260.
No way, really?
Yeah.
260.
I hit it very well because of my height
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
and
that.
my clothes. I mean, I'm comfortable in like baggy clothes
Right.
anyways.
Yep.
So I just hit it very well.
Yeah, and it was interesting because to your point, Ray, when you said that, you and Dom, or when you and Conan evaluated Dom, you saw that he had the potential. I remember the first time Dom and I trained together, I sent you videos of us training. I was
Yes.
like, your son is a natural athlete.
Yeah.
Some of the movements I had him do, it's not normal for people to be able to do that stuff on the
Right.
first workout. And I pushed him. I mean, that's why you sent him here. And I wanted to see what he had. And it was really, really cool to see it was very, very obvious that, that was your son.
Yeah.
It was very, very obvious that, the athleticism, obviously, I mean, look, you're amazing. One of the most, if not the most, most acrobatic, high-flying superstars of all time. Let me retract that statement. He's the best to ever do it. He's the best to ever do it the way that he does it. I mean, he's the one who put lucha on the map. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Dom.
I mean, I'm no words for me here.
So yeah, man, it was really, really cool to see that. And, even at that heavier package, 260, he could still move. And, I've worked with people all different shapes and sizes. And, typically you can kind of tell that somebody's got it. And I knew early on that Dom had it. And it's fucking amazing that since then, so much has happened. He came here, worked in our company, earned his way through the FNG ranks, earned the uniform, was here for about 6 months, got himself in better shape physically, but also got him in, and you can speak on this better than I can, got himself in better shape mentally.
Oh, 100%. Like, he came back a different person.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. As you were talking, I was reflecting on how important those 2 steps were for me as a parent, and for my wife, and for my son, to see his growth, and how much trust we put on you to take care of him, not only with him by sending him here to Tampa, but I also said, Chris, I wanna change, man. I'm ready to make a big change. I've been lacking on my dieting, my workout, and you changed me completely. So as much as we wanted to do it, I think it falls in your hands because you took us and you guided us, you mentored us, and you put us on the right track. It was up to us to make sure we stayed there.
And it was my pleasure to do that. And it's really interesting. As you said that, I was just kind of going through the different timelines. Again, so much has happened since, we first met. But I think it was about the time, Dom came back home that you decided to kind of step your game up or around the time. I think you did go, you visited, didn't you go back there for a little bit and then come back to Tampa?
Yeah. So after the Rumble, I went,
Which was in 2018.
It was
Yeah.
2018. I went out back home for like a week or two, and then I came back over here and then finished up.
And during his working here in Tampa and prepping himself up mentally, physically, he was also coming out here to train wrestling as well with Jay Lethal, which he was working, living on his own and going to wrestling school.
And we're hitting the gym.
And hitting the gym.
Yeah.
So he did that for a period of 8 months.
6 months.
6 months. And it was time for him to move to the next phase, which was move to Canada.
Right.
So that's exactly what happened.
During the time that you were here, that's the time that we stepped it up to get you ready for the big WWE
Rumble,
return.
yes.
At that
Wait, I
point,
got a question.
Yeah.
What was it that you experienced here that facilitated the change?
I think it was just the environment that I was put in. It was very different from what I was doing as far as like, who I was hanging around and, the food I was eating, and like just the environment here was just, we're working, and then we're also working out, and then we have meals here that we can eat, that they get for us. So like it was a winning situation for me not to put in the work.
You've spoken about this a lot, that comfort zone that you sit on.
Yeah.
And the pattern of Chick-fil-A every other day, not working out, playing video games, whatever it is, just bad habits that you completely removed out of your life. And he just became a independent person, had to wash his own clothes, had to go for his groceries. Whatever it is that he needed, he didn't depend on mom or dad or anybody else.
And that might sound like a little silly to some of the people hearing this, but the fact is you have worked very, very hard.
Yes.
You've accomplished success at levels that most people can only dream of. And your kids are important to you, and you take a lot of pride in providing them the life that you have. And they grew up in privilege. I don't think that can be contested.
No.
And it's very, very easy for people who grow up in privilege to get accustomed to a certain environment. They don't know. If somebody's always washing your clothes and doing your laundry for you, that is all you know, and that's all you are accustomed to. And the reason I bring this up is because I remember, and I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, Dom.
Not at all. Please.
I remember Ray, you give me a call. It was probably, his second or third week here, and Dom had called home to ask his mom. He wasn't sure how to turn on the washing machine.
Hey, these are all great experiences, man.
I love it. I love
yes.
it. We've all been there.
Yes,
we've all been there. But so around the time Dom was here, that's the time that you and I started talking about, like, look, it will probably be a good idea for you to go back to WWE and finish your career the right way.
Right.
And in order to do that, like, we needed to get you not just back in shape, we needed to get you in better shape than you'd ever been in before to make a statement.
Yeah.
At that point, how long had you been gone from the company?
Almost 4 years. So, I left in 2014, and I came back in 2018. So literally about 4 years, exactly.
Do you remember that process, the program that I wrote up for you? I mean, we dialed in your nutrition, your workouts were pretty intense, the cardio, all that. Do you remember what that was like?
Yes.
Prepping for the Rumble? Talk
Yes.
a little bit about that and the process, the results, how you felt during that time. And
It was incredible. I mean, I I still, with the diet that I'm going through right now, I don't know why the previous diet just stuck with me, and I fight myself like, why am I doing this? Because I love the other one better, and I saw results right away.
Right.
So maybe it is a little bit of my lacking on this one, but anyways, the previous diet was 8:30. I was up by 8 in the gym, by 8:15, and did my 30 minutes of cardio, sauna. I was back home, 9 a.m. I was drinking my first shake. 3 hours later, my first meal. And every 3 hours, I would hit my meal and work out at nighttime. Go to bed early, wake up, and do it all over again.
You were regimented down to the T. Every meal was
Yes.
eaten every day at the same time. All your portions were even, I mean, you were eating meals that were all similar portions, the same food every day.
Yeah.
Just to give people some context. Because people think about diet, they think about, oh, well, I'm not going to go to McDonald's. So that,
No.
you know, like
Yeah.
you were f***ing on it. And
Yeah.
I don't remember the circumstances leading up to the Rumble, but I feel like, how much notice did we have?
We had roughly about a month.
Yeah.
If that.
So fortunately, we had already kind of started to get you a little dialed in.
Yeah.
But we really turned it up because I remember it was a short period of time, and I'm like, look, man, like we can cover a lot of ground in a month. I was like,
Right.
but I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be hard.
So I was already on the nutrition solution meals before that, but once I got word that
Once you
I
had the
was gonna,
goal.
yes, that I was gonna be in the Rumble, it's like, all right, you told me time to turn it up, and you wrote out my workout regimen, which I still have inside my gym, on a piece of paper. It's all pasted down. So every time I go in there, that's the workout that I do.
Yeah.
The one that you posted right before the Rumble. And the meals, you know, it was a different meal. I was getting my meals every Thursday, and I was stacking it up.
So this was a big deal, though. This was a big deal because nobody knew about this. Your return was to the Royal Rumble event. For those who don't know, everybody has seen a clip on Instagram or the memes, or this is like the gym after the new year,
Yeah.
where they show all the wrestlers in the ring, like 30 guys in the
Yeah.
ring at one time. So that's the event. And every year, historically, there are big surprise returns, and someone, you know, that hasn't been around a while, like shows back up. And they did a really, really good job, as did you, keeping it quiet. Like there was no speculation.
Yeah.
The whole idea was to make this just a massive surprise and just shock the world.
Right. I don't even think my name was even brought up at all.
When they
Like,
brought you into the building, they had you hiding out in the bus.
Yes, we
until
flew
it was
together.
time. Yeah.
Remember, we flew. The Rumble was in Philly.
Yep.
We flew to New York, and from New York we had to drive to Philly. So they put me in as soon as I got to Philly's. Normally fans would be waiting at Philly airport, kind of figure out
Right.
who was a special guest.
Right.
They did it the other way around, and I've heard of superstars getting that done,
Yep.
so they don't find out
Right.
who's coming out. For me, it was the first time, so I thought it was really special.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, because I just remember like I mean, you know, I'm like, look, you got to send me pictures every 5 days. And well, I wanted to make sure we were ready. And I remember like as it was happening and I started to see you get tighter and fitter and more vascular, I'm like, you know, like 10 days out, I'm like, he's going to look awesome on game day. And game day comes. And I will never forget. So this is a big deal. You obviously ordered some new gear,
Yeah.
right? Because Rey,
Yeah.
whether it's in the ring or outside of the ring, I mean, he's the king of swag. Always looking fly. Always got the newest, like hottest shit going. And again, we had worked very, very, very hard to get him in this shape where, you know, he was basically just going to come back and just let the world know, like, hey, like, I'm back, I'm here, and make a statement. And I will never forget the morning of the Rumble. You send me a picture, and I still have it in my phone. He sends me a picture of the outfit that he had just got, and he had a shirt on. So at this point, I see that, and look, I'm like, oh my God,
Take it
is he actually considering wearing this shirt?
And what he means by shirt is I was wearing like a leotard.
Yeah.
So it covers up
It,
half of my
it
body.
It looked like something like you'd see in the X-Men, like, or the Avengers, like an outfit like that. It looked dope. Don't get me wrong. It was awesome. But it was covering
your work.
the work, exactly. So I had to approach this very carefully. I'm like, okay. I was like, you know, I'm look. It looks okay, but so I'm like, all right, look.
You don't want to be really honest.
No,
with me,
well, no,
I don't know if that's
I'm
your
like,
color.
So all day I'm thinking in my mind, when I see him, there's no way I will literally grab that thing. I will run out of the bus. There's no way I was going to let him go to the ring wearing that, because he looked awesome and he was a little self-conscious, because when we look in the mirror, we see ourselves. We don't see what everybody else sees. We're immediately focusing on the one thing that
looks bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I remember the conversation in the bus, and there was another buddy of yours in there, and I think Dom was in there, and you basically were like asking for feedback from everybody.
Yeah.
And it was unanimous. Like, man, like they're like,
You're right.
you look great. Like, you got to go out there and you got to show them and let them know. And what was really interesting about that is Dom and I were in the crowd. We went and took our seats a little before you were to come out. When they hit your music, the roof almost blew off of the place. I mean, just thinking about it now, like, gives me goosebumps. Wow. I mean, I remember the energy in there, and I'm there with Dom, and we're ringside. Your music hit. Had been a long time since anybody had heard that. And you coming down, you looked amazing. Yeah. And what was really cool is, after the fact, when we watched it back, on multiple occasions, the announcers specifically noted and pointed out how amazing you looked, and the fact that you're in the best shape that they'd ever seen you in.
Yeah, it's crazy. And at 42 years old, which makes it
deal.
even more special. You know, yeah, man, you changed my life, Chris. I mean, you put everything on the table, and you made me decide whether I wanted it or not. You know, you gave me all the tools, and
You put them to work, my friend.
Yeah, and at that point, you know, it's up to you to put the work in.
Yeah.
And I know you live by that rule, you know, and I think Dominic is right in that same path, you know.
He is, and it was around that time that these conversations started to happen about, like, look, like, one day Dom is going to be in a position where he's ready for WWE. One day Dom's going to be in WWE. One day there might be a time where within the WWE ring, you two actually go head to head. And at that time, like, these were like, you know, we're talking about it and it sounds great, but, you know, like, who could have put a time, if somebody put a gun to our head at that point and asked us to put a timeline on it,
We don't know.
8 years, 9, who knows, like 10 years, like, who knows? We knew it was going to happen, but, you know, it was so far off from happening in our minds at that point.
Yeah.
And then it was so far off until one day it wasn't.
That was,
Just had a match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like,
I
this
mean,
is crazy, right?
What's crazy, and again, this is important to for our audience who are not wrestling fans.
Right.
Some of them might be. Your first match was how long ago?
August of 2020.
So his first match was at an event called SummerSlam, which is the second high level marquee event for WWE.
Yeah.
He wrestled a guy named Seth Rollins, who is without question one of the best to do it right now.
Yeah.
This is his first match. His first match at the second premier event with one of the top guys in the world. And, you know, not only did he go in there and hold his own, like, they had an incredible match. So good, in fact, that he got a standing ovation when he walked into the back. Dom, talk to us a little bit about what was that like leading up? Look, it's all on the line at that point. They literally just, again, very, very short notice.
Yeah. And I think this is very important to point out the fact that when they asked me, and when I say they, I mean WWE staff asked me, we would like to see Dominic in a match against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Like, well, let me run that by him. I don't want to make or the decision for him. You know, let me see what he has to say. I brought it up to Dominic. Dominic had only been training for what?
Almost
2.5 years, which, you know, you could say that in
more than most.
2.5 years, you can have a good set of training sessions and gone to some really good schools, but I don't think you're ready to step into a WWE ring in front of millions of fans around the world.
Let's give this proper context here. Do you think that there's been one WWE superstar in the history of the WWE to ever have their first match in the WWE?
Probably.
You think?
And I can't think of a name. I'm going to have to research that. But to have a match on such a huge pay-per-view event like SummerSlam.
And you guys crushed
Ronda
it.
Rousey.
Ronda
Rousey.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's hey, look, that's not a bad group to be in.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was, and you took the option of running with it. You said,
I thought you were
think-
playing at first.
No, I was never playing. I was dead serious.
I'm going to be honest, I was nervous.
Oh.
When you called me and told me that, I mean, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm like, look, like, yeah, he's ready. He's been ready. Like, let's do this. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, he's had 0 matches.
Yes.
Wait a minute. He's had 0 matches. Like, this is a problem. Like, so I'm thinking like, okay, maybe they're going to do like, and they did. They made it a street fight, right?
Yeah.
It was street fight rules. So in my mind, as a fan and somebody who's kind of in the know that knows Dominic is at 0 matches,
right?
I'm thinking, all right, they're making it a street fight because his skills aren't up to par.
Of course.
They're going to brawl the whole time. Makes sense. That's not the way the match went.
No, it shocked me.
Tom, talk about that, man. Tell us a little bit about what it was like to be in that gorilla position, hear your music, step out under the bright lights on the big stage and go toe to toe with one of the best in the world.
Having your mom and your dad right there in gorilla position before you walk out. And not to make
No pressure.
No.
I mean, I was very blessed, to be given that opportunity, and I was very thankful. But I was excited. I was nervous, but like I wasn't. I don't want to say I was like super nervous because I was focused and I knew that I needed to do something special, and like I knew that there's a task at hand and that it needed to be executed as best as possible. So I was nervous, but like at the same time I wasn't, if that makes sense.
Confident?
I was
Makes perfect
confident,
sense.
Very confident.
I was confident, but not like cocky. I knew what I could do, and I wanted to go out there and make sure that I made everyone happy with what I did. But I remember being back there in Gorilla. We had to cut a little promo right before, like literally right before we went out there. Said bye to my parents. Music hits, and as soon as that curtain hits, like it was, like it sunk in a little. Like I took a look. I turned around. I saw the giant like screens behind me, just Dominik Mysterio with my own music. Like it was just a surreal moment, and I'm very thankful.
Game changer. And I always tell Dominic, I said, if that would have only happened in front of thousands of fans, it would have been a complete difference. But it didn't. So you got to experience something that maybe none of us ever will. Having their first match, during a pandemic, which is crazy.
But what he's referring to for our audience is right now the events, they don't have fans in the audience. They have like digital screens where they bring in people via
Virtually.
technology, virtually.
Yeah, like the bubble, right? Bubble.
Yeah, the NBA bubble had
NBA
it.
bubble, huh? So, to have done it in front of no fans, for me, normally the fans give you that extra boost of energy. It gives you that adrenaline rush. I have found it very difficult sometimes to push myself in arenas when we don't have fans.
You
I
feed
need
off the
that.
energy, right?
Yes, it's very important, very crucial for us, at least for me. So, for Dominic to have even pulled it off during these difficult times and to walk back after his match and you can continue.
Get a standing ovation from, everyone. Like I got super emotional right away. I cried just because like I'd seen so many people like go through that, get their, walk back through Gorilla, get the standing ovation.
That's actually, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's very difficult to get.
Yeah. I mean,
that-
I've seen
no-
it in like special like videos like the Shawn Michaels
Okay,
and like
yes.
WrestleMania main events
Yes.
where
Yeah,
somebody's
like,
been in.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I've seen like moments like in the videos that I've seen and like packages and stuff, but like to actually like have it happen to me and like have Vince just, share those words with me, like I'll remember that day till the day I'm gone,
Brother, I think it's safe to say that that's probably never happened or ever will happen again. with somebody on their first match.
I think that
You
is
know.
very hard to point out.
It was a very emotional moment. Like for me, seeing you guys just embrace with Angie and you know, your sister, like it was just really awesome because people don't know the work and the process and the blood and the sweat and the tears and the sacrifice that was put in to get to that point. And the fact that, you know, at your age, being pretty inexperienced in the grand scale of things, to answer the call of duty like that, step up, it says a lot, man. It says a lot about your character. And, you know, the beauty of this whole thing is you're just getting started.
Now, as a parent, my wife and I sat down, and it might have been that night, and we just go back and reminisce and talk about, wow, it was definitely good that we sent them to Tampa. We were just going over everything.
I did not pay him to say that.
No, this was the process. That's how it started. Pushing him out of the house to be on his own, to learn how to do things on his own and not depend on others. Like that was the beginning of his journey, and then going to Canada and being on his own there, and then eventually, you know, wanting to do what I do for a living and what I've done for the past 32 years, and getting an opportunity before we even thought it was going to happen, and you taking advantage of that opportunity because you were prepared. You were prepared from day one, from the time you moved out of the house and you came here. You know, that
He was prepared
you.
out of the womb, brother.
Well, I think there was a gift when he came out of the womb, but,
Sure.
but that preparation started late for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
also, when
never
you-
too late.
When you started getting in better shape, I did notice a little come up in your confidence and your swagger, if you will.
Yeah.
Not that you ever lacked confidence or swag, but I remember you being a little more on the reserved side and quiet. And now, like, as you start to get in better shape and just see you now, like, you just got a certain glow about you. I mean, you got that Mysterio swag that was handed down, and that's important, man. We got to keep that going.
Yeah, even the way he dressed, like he wouldn't dress like he dresses now, you know, and that comes with confidence.
Yeah.
That comes with
It does.
Yeah.
It does, and you look good, Dom. Like we looked at the picture, those pictures out there of you and I from before. It's like, who the f- is that guy?
You need to play those during Halloween time here, right?
Scare people.
All right, Dom, story time. So when you were here, at some point, you know, we were talking like we always would, and you told me a f***ing awesome story, and I cannot recall how it came up, but legend has it that you had a Project X style house party back in the day, a house party of epic proportion when your mom and dad apparently had gone on a short vacation to Mexico. Apparently, you know, you thought that you'd have a party in their honor. I'm sure that was the thought process, but this is a legendary party. I would love to have you share the story with our audience,
Yeah,
because
please share that.
yeah, maybe move a little away from your dad without striking
can I have that?
distance.
The way the story starts is it wasn't even supposed to be my party.
Of course not.
It was so my sister, being in high school at the time, I believe she was a senior in high school.
Aaliyah is dangerous.
So she's also a big party. I wasn't at the time. I mean, I was, but it started as her party.
So you were going to chaperone.
That was the plan. So I told my parents, I was like, yeah, I'll chaperone her. She can have a couple friends over. So I told my friends, I was like, hey, just in case something goes down, you know, I need my buddies there to, you know, have my back.
Yeah.
So I invited a couple boys over, and next thing you know, my boys were inviting other boys over, and I was inviting some more boys, and Aaliyah's friends turned up, and there's just a big old rager that
Project
turned
X,
into.
How many people were there, you think?
I'd probably say about 150 to 200, maybe 250.
Damn. So what's interesting about this is, like, obviously, you know, party was getting a little crazy, and the cops apparently were called. The cops showed up.
Yeah, so
but you were prepared, evidently.
Yes. Yeah, so one of my buddies, and he's actually very well known with the law, and he knows what to say and what to do in those type of
So
situations.
basically, what he's saying is he was a cop. Was also at the party who went and talked to his other cop buddies.
Yep.
And said, "Hey, everything's under control here."
All good here, yeah. So, and I mean, that's just how it happened. And at the end of the day, we were all good. Our neighbors were assholes about it, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Still to this day.
So how did you guys get the alcohol, being that you were underage?
Yeah, that's why a lot of bottles were missing, right?
We took a lot from my parents, and then
I'm stacked with alcohol. Just for
tequila
guests.
mainly.
Of course, brother.
Mainly tequila. Mama had a bunch of stash of tequila, some Patron.
So we
some
depleted
Don
that.
Julio. We took care of that, and then one of Aaliyah's boyfriend at the time, his older sister was like 26, and her boyfriend was the cop. So they managed to get us some more alcohol at the time, and it was and her best friend's sister was a bartender, so she was just making drinks for us as well.
So Ray, so where were you at this time?
I want to say we were probably in Cancun.
You're in Cancun,
Yeah.
and you weren't expecting a lot of people at the house, but you live in a very upscale neighborhood. You have a beautiful home,
Thank you.
and you have a security camera system that
Yeah.
you can readily access from the convenience of your phone.
Yes.
and you did that.
So, hold on. Sorry to cut you
no,
off.
please.
But after that, cameras were placed inside the house.
So we couldn't see nothing.
So yeah,
You're talking about the camera that's right on top of the dining room table, right?
upstairs. As soon as you walk
So,
upstairs,
Here's the funny thing that my if they're having parties, I don't know about them.
Right.
You know, I kind of just mind my own business.
Sure.
If my wife brings it up and says, "Hey, Liz having a party and she's having just a couple friends over," oh, okay, cool. Nothing of it, you know. But when it gets out of hand like that, I still don't know until I get home and somebody just happens to leak it out.
Right.
So
because we clean up well.
But this time, correct me if I'm wrong, you pulled it up in real time and you saw what.
but that's mom pulled it up. Mom pulled it up, and she blew what apparently was a 15 to 20 people party, and they had a freaking Project X party.
Right.
That's
so
when I
what do
found
you
out.
do at that point?
There's really not much I can do. I mean, because they're drinking, they can't. They're not gonna understand. It's gonna be hard to even communicate. Did mom talk to you that day?
No,
No,
not until
That
the
this
next
is to me this is the best. This is the best part of the story.
Please.
The fact that, like, again, 15 to 20 person party in your mind, you happen to just pop on the cameras just check your humble abode. You see this out of control rager going on at your home. Dom dancing. I remember I've seen the security footage. I've seen this, and at that point, you had the sense of mind to let it continue to go on, let Dom and Aaliyah do his thing, and handle it the next day. Like in my mind, like I'm thinking if that was me, I'm in the car. I'm driving. I'm going 120.
Cancun, it's the San
Dude,
Diego.
like, 3 hours away, I'll be there in an hour and a half. Like I don't understand how you actually had the wherewithal to not like lose your mind and blow up your Dom's phone and good on you
Well,
for
it's
that.
funny because even if he called the police, they were already they were already there.
He probably already knew that. But honestly, that is kind of a testament of like your personality. You are very laid back and very chill and easygoing.
Yeah.
How did that conversation go that next day?
It wasn't that bad. I mean,
How are you feeling, Dom?
he was hungover.
I was hungover. I thought the Advil before bed would help, but it didn't.
He was, and I don't know if, like any other brother or sister, he was putting the blame on her, and she was putting the blame on Mama Hen. So it's like back and forth. At the end of the day,
There's no ownership there.
Yes, no, which you
That was
should have
before.
picked
That
up.
was before Extreme Ownership. That was before I read that.
Pre-nutrition solutions.
Yes.
But I've always had that chill, calm personality. When I know things can't be handled in the moment, you just have to let it wait and pick the right time to take care of it. And but overall, the good thing is nothing bad happened, because then it would have really sucked, and then I probably would have lost my shit.
Well, the good part is now that Dom is under WWE contract,
Yeah.
making his own money. When he gets his house and goes out of town, you and I can go have a bender, f- the place
Big
up.
ass party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll send him videos.
We're going to do a Project XYZ party.
Exactly. Show him how the OGs do it.
Yes.
Man.
I might have to drive down and crash it.
Yeah, I think I've been very patient throughout my whole career for everything. So I knew patience wasn't going to be an issue with me. You know, I've been patient for 32 years in this industry, and starting at 150 pesos, my first match, you know.
We did a little better with that last one.
Yeah, to be where I'm at right now, you know, I'm very comfortable and I'm very happy, and I think more than that, the fact that I was able to accomplish something much more than that, because my career is like I've already lived everything that I've wanted to live, and I've experienced so much that I never thought I would. But to see Dominic set his foot inside the WWE for the first time, and him making his own money, his own contract, where he doesn't depend on me anymore. That's just such a cool feeling.
Well, I want to, again, what you just said, you just teed me up for this, but I remember a conversation we had shortly after Dom signed his contract. And, you know, you're obviously getting paid now, which is awesome, by the way. Congratulations on that. You know, I know, you know, your family were involved in
Yes.
storylines. They were also getting checks. And it was really, really cool for you to share with me the fact that they had all done some nice things and gifted you some things.
Yeah.
And just to know, I mean, like, just to see that generosity that, I mean, you're very generous yourself, to see that is just transcended within your family. It's just awesome, man. It's really, really inspiring for me. You know, I don't know if you know this about me, but I've only met my dad once.
Yeah.
You know, we talk here and there and text, and I met him, the first time I met him was a few years ago. To see you two, the relationship that you have, the bond that you hold, and just the evolution of everything that's happening. I mean, for someone like me, it's really, really inspiring. And I hope that you guys realize that what you guys have is so rare.
Yeah.
It's so rare. It's so unique. And, you know, it's when I look at you guys, it's not so much father, son. I look at like two best friends.
Yeah.
And I know that's how, you know, I that's the vibe that I've always gotten from you guys day one. And it's really, really awesome that you guys are, like, just to support each other the way you do, and the success that you guys have, accumulated individually, and that you'll continue to experience together.
Thank you, man. We don't. I know I don't take things for granted, and I know every day that I travel with him, that I get to share the ring with him, the car, you know, the hotels, all of that. That means the world to me. You know, for so many years, he traveled with me as a kid, and I would have to wake him up, and we gotta go, Dom, at 5 a.m. We gotta go catch our flight. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. To see him now turn into a man, you know, and do his own things, you know, we feel like it's so common for us, but I don't know if I've ever told you, but I appreciate every moment, every hour, every day that I spend with you, and I love you, man, to the
Love
core.
you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it still
Yeah,
blows my
for
mind
real.
that we work together. You
Yeah.
know?
You guys spend so much time together, and that's the thing. Again, that's just so unique for me as an outsider. Seeing the amount of time that you guys spend together, and work at the house. You got, I mean, your family
Yep.
is very close. You do a lot of family-based
Yeah.
activities, and it's like for you to have that relationship. It's uncommon, guys. Like, quite frankly, and you know, again, like, for someone like me who's like just on the other end, it's really, really awesome. And I want you guys to know, like, it inspires me a lot, and really just makes me look at myself and kind of recognize some certain things that I need to change, and I'd like to change, and certain improvements that, you know, I want to make. I would love one day to have this dynamic that you guys have with my own son. I couldn't even, you know, imagine how special it must feel to do what you guys do every day.
Yeah, thank you. And I give a lot of that credit to my wife, you know, because for so many years I traveled, and I was,
She put up with your shit, huh?
yeah, she put up with my shit, and she put up with my kids, you know, Dom and Aaliyah. I mean, they were
weren't
just
easy.
spoiled, man. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It was hard at school. It was hard at home, but she maintained this household solid, tight, you know, and still to this day, she's been very open with discussions on any topic, you know, sex, girls, boys, you name it. And she's lived a lot in her life, and she lost her father at a very young age, which is my wife. You know, so to have lost her dad when she was 6 years old, and then her brother when her brother was 18 years old in a car accident, she just grew up with a mom and taking care of her little sister, which subconsciously she became a mom at a very young age, but she transcended and brought that to our family and raised two incredible children.
Damn right she did.
Yeah.
Dom, what, as a kid, obviously you've seen your dad work hundreds, if not thousands of times. What match, event, or just situation was the most memorable for you growing up?
I mean, I always enjoyed going to the WrestleManias, man, just because not only the environment was so cool to be in it, but like his like I specifically remember one of my favorites is WrestleMania 21. I believe it went Hollywood.
Yeah.
He opened up the pay-per-view against Eddie, and hell of a match. I remember you with your mask the whole time.
It was uncomfortable. It's a different mask. Yeah. On the same material.
But I just the environment being there with like all the wrestlers and their families, and you know everyone being together, and then like the giant after party afterwards, you know, like it's just such a cool environment. And so like that specific one really sticks out to me, especially because like, you know, like I said, he was working Eddie at the time, so we were just hanging out with Eddie's family, trying to watch it together. So like
family was there.
the
We
whole
had, like-
family
we were,
was
like,
there,
10
like his
deep.
like his parents, his brothers, his brothers' kids. So like it was we were rolling deep. So I remember that very vividly.
Right on. Ray, when you see Dom work, obviously you're proud, but at the same time, you have to be his critic, right? Like to be of service to him, you got to tell him where he's falling short, where he's fucking up, what he could do better.
Yeah.
Overall, like, how do you think he's doing at this stage of the game, and what improvements do you think Dom, could make and needs to make to really take his game to the next level?
So I try to be as picky as I can, and I don't think nobody else is gonna be as picky as me. And sometimes he might feel like, damn, just take it easy. At least give me a good one. You know, his matches have been good.
Yeah.
But it's little shit
Yep.
that I try to be picky on that maybe somebody else might not notice, but I can see it because I want to see him get better.
The details.
Yes, and I know he will within time. But overall, he's impressed the hell out of me. I mean, again, we talked about this earlier. I don't think anybody has done what he's done on his first match.
No.
You know, and he shocked the world. He shocked me without a doubt. I was ringside. I was looking at him doing certain things. I saw him do things that I had no idea he was capable of doing. He's done a lot of things in the past since he started wrestling that he's never done before, and he's done them for the first time during a match. So that speaks for himself. You know, that you can tell the type of mentality he has stepping into the ring and the determination he has.
When you frog splash Brock, that was probably the first time I was like, all right, well, maybe this kid actually is a little further along than what I thought in my mind, because we hadn't seen any action. We'd seen Brock pulled you out of the crowd and drug you around, and I mean, just beat the shit. I mean, he literally threw you around like a rag doll.
Yep.
On
Felt
TV,
like it too.
which is awesome. What a way to pay your dues and break into the business. But when that whole sequence where Brock was going after you, you hit Brock with a low blow, and you hit him with the frog splash or in the 619.
I hit him with the pipe.
And then I hit him with the steel chair.
The chairs. That's what it was. That's what I texted after. I'm like, dude, those chair shots. I was like, that was legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it cool to like discuss like that? Did you guys have a discussion prior about like the what would go on out there? I mean, I'm sure working with Brock be pretty intimidating. I know you got a great relationship with Brock.
Yeah.
A lot of people are intimidated by him.
A lot of respect here. Yeah.
How was that?
I mean, it was definitely intimidating, but like again, I didn't want to let anyone down. So like I wanted to make sure that whatever I did do to him or was, you know, given to me to give to him, you know, I did it correctly and I did it to, you know, as perfect as I possibly could to the T. And with that chair shot, you know, I was told to lay it in because if not, it was going to look like shit.
Did he tell you that?
He didn't specifically. Actually, maybe he did. I can't remember, but I think he may have.
I don't know if he did or didn't,
Yeah,
but I just remember.
But I remember
if you're gonna do it, you better do it right.
There's 5 other people specifically that came up to me and were like, make sure you lay that shit in. So I was like,
And they would tell you as a reference, remember that ass whooping he gave you.
yeah, they're like, remember that.
And that ass whooping was, I didn't get a chance to see it there because I was in the ring cutting the promo. So when I went back home and we saw it together, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that shit looked terrifying. Yeah. I mean, you got your ass kicked.
I got my
Dom,
ass
how tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
So, the manner of which your body was just being flung around like a 30-pound sack of potatoes or something. It was like, holy shit. Like that probably hurts more than like some of the moves you guys do where, you know, you fall a certain way to protect yourself.
Right.
But when you fell and you got flung out of the ring like that, I was
There's
like,
no way.
I'm sorry to pause you there for a second, but for those of you that don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah, you should YouTube that shit.
Brock Lesnar beats Dominic Mysterio, and you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And again, for context, at this point, you're not a WWE superstar.
No.
You're out there
I was a
supporting your
fan,
dad.
yeah.
Yeah, you're out there supporting your dad, and to literally like go hands on with like, you know, arguably one of the most dominant forces the industry's ever seen. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is just my assumption. I think based on what happened that night, that's when like the interest really started to flow with WWE and
Yeah.
you. I mean, we knew that you wanted to end up at the Performance Center and start
Yeah.
training, but everything just started to evolve after that night. Then with Samoa Joe, and it just kind of just
Yeah.
flourished, and it was incredible.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I remember specifically after I got my ass beat, I went to go say thank you to everyone, and I remember Brock telling me that he was surprised because he knew more than I thought I would, or he like I knew more than he thought I was going to, just with like how I placed myself and like certain things that I would do to feed into things. Like I just don't think that they were expecting like me to know kind of what I was doing.
Yeah.
So that was really cool too, like right off the bat. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So who do you want to work with, Dom? Ultimately, where do you see, like, what's the dream match, dream scenario, dream event, all that for you? If you could have anyone, anywhere, anytime, who would it be and why?
I mean, right now or in the future? I mean, because
You choose.
I mean, I think the goal is, you know, to main event WrestleMania and become world champion one day. Who against whoever has the title at that point in time? You know,
That's right.
I'm coming for you. But I think some dream matches would definitely be like, you know, I've worked with Seth, so I'd love to have work with you know, Roman.
Yeah.
I think working with Roman would be awesome.
We
you
could
know.
get redemption against Seth at some point.
Yeah, I would love to go back with Seth, you know, and get some wins on him, and you know, Roman as well. There's some guys down in NXT like Legado del Fantasma, like just so much talent down in NXT, and there's so many guys, man, that I would just like to work.
There's a ladder, a long ass ladder you would have to climb to eventually start. Yeah,
100%,
which is cool because these are all learning experiences that you're gonna have, and that's gonna just make you a better athlete overall, better wrestler.
I learn
You
every
know,
time I'm in the ring.
For some reason, I kind of envision you against Drew McIntyre. I don't know why. I just see like once you're head on straight in this game and you know the fundamentals, I don't know why I see you against Drew McIntyre. I think that would be a hell of a match.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And the cool part, I mean, Ray, obviously you have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration from, I mean, anybody in the business. There's literally probably not a negative word that's ever been said about you ever in the business. You have everybody's respect. Everybody thinks the world of you. But I would think that a lot of the people, some of the younger guys, I'm sure they're wanting a piece of your ass, Dom, because they think, you know, like, oh, this is Rey Mysterio's kid.
Right.
So what do you think about that? And you know, what's your message to anybody out there who thinks that perhaps you're just riding the coattails of your dad's name and momentum?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm the one putting in the work, you know? I mean, they weren't there through my journey here, through those cold nights, you know, walking through the snow in Calgary, just trying to get to the gym. Like, it is what it is, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And I mean, at the end of the day, the people who matter to me are whose opinions matter. So
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
What about you? I mean, what I asked about a dream match, and what was there? You guys ever think about working together, either on the same side? You know, maybe not. What's the?
We definitely. I mean, I would love to strive for some tag team titles. You know, definitely before I try to hang up my mask.
We don't need to be talking about that now,
No,
brother.
I'm just saying, but I do
especially
want to
with
make sure.
with the stem cells in the game, Ray. With the
I might be
stem
wrestling
cells,
at 55, you know, looking shredded.
maybe longer than that, bro. The stem cells change everything.
Very true. Very true. That's something that we have to come back and revisit and do another podcast.
Absolutely.
And just talk about,
Dude, as soon as
Bioaccelerator
Bioaccelerator.
Yes.
Call me.
Yes.
I'm waiting on them to call me. We'll talk about them.
We're coming to Columbia soon.
Damn
Yes.
right. Damn right.
But that definitely a topic that we need to touch one day. And as soon as you invite me, I'm back in here, man. We talk about it. We actually need to bring one of the staff members out here and make sure he sits down and gives us the full scoop.
What do you mean? What?
From
Bioaccelerator.
Bioaccelerator.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Sit him down here and have him hit.
Yeah,
Have
well,
him
I
explain
gotta
to us.
look. They gotta take care. They gotta take care of your
They
boy
will.
first. You
They
know,
will.
I fill out my paperwork. Let's go.
They will.
I'm really excited about that because I've done a lot of research this year on stem cells and just how amazing and the multitude of benefits across the board.
Right.
And I'm excited to go to Bogota.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done as much research as I
No,
should.
but you've gotten the shit.
But I've gotten it, and the way I've felt has been incredible. I mean, to have been pain free from an arthritical knee that I have after multiple surgeries, over 12 on my left one. You know, it's like, how am I not feeling pain?
How many times have you gotten stem cells?
So I started probably in 2012.
Were you getting them
And
domestically,
so
or
this is when it was barely coming
Yeah.
up, and it wasn't legal yet,
Right.
in the U.S. So I did my first treatment in Texas.
Got it.
And then I did my second one in L.A.
so wait a minute? It was legal or it wasn't?
No, it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't out in the market yet. So doctors were practicing stem cells, but I guess they weren't allowed to advertise it. I guess it was. Yeah,
We might have to edit this part out.
What's going on there?
the doctor that I saw in LA apparently was taking care of a lot of Lakers players.
Got it.
So, but I don't know why they were like, it's still not approved by the FDA.
Whatever.
So, but that one was the one that I really felt that worked, because after that treatment that I had, about 2.5 years with no pain, feeling just healthy. After that, I did another treatment in Vegas, and then after that, I went to Colombia, and that's when the big one was in Colombia.
And when we say big one, for context, the quality of the stem cells are better.
And the amount.
And the amount. They're able to give you a higher amount because the reg is different.
Yes.
So you felt a more substantial impact and difference post Colombia stem cells than the ones you got domestically?
Yes, and post Colombia, it was direct to the affected area.
Got it.
My left knee.
The other ones
In
were
this case,
intravenous, just
intravenous and to any affected area that you had. So in Colombia, I did both of my knees, and I know I've had injuries on my left knee. The right knee has been surgery free,
Yep.
but the fact that I felt like it was taking the wear and tear from the left one, I just decided to get treatment on the right one too. I did my ankle, I did both of my wrists because I have carpal tunnel. My carpal tunnel was gone.
I find it fascinating how he openly said prior to what he just said, how he's done very little research on it. Yet he's got it like 37 times.
I like to be the guinea pig.
I
so
love it.
go
No,
ahead,
I
use
love it. It's like, look, let's go.
Shoulder, biceps, both wrists, knee.
You know what? Something just became
Concussion.
very clear to me. You look like you're 12 years old, and now I know why.
cells.
That's exactly
Right.
why. Like, I mean, like you have a very, very young face. It seems like you got that Benjamin Button going, and now we know why. I didn't realize you had gotten that
Gotta
many
go to
stem
Colombia.
cells,
You got to go to Colombia.
dude.
We're going.
Bioaccelerator.
Trust me. In the next
Call me.
3 months, we're going to be there.
I can't wait.
Before that.
I can't wait.
But
So look, we
overall-
alluded to it at the beginning, and we kind of like skipped away from it. And I don't want to make it seem like we weren't trying to talk about it. You guys were supposed to do this about a month ago, and you got COVID on your birthday.
Yeah.
Talk to me and our listeners about like what that was like, how you found out, how you felt. Obviously, a lot of is going on right now in this country, and depending on where you are and where your focus is and what information you're consuming, there might be people out there that are really, really worried still, and talk a little bit about your experiences and anything you think would be helpful for our audience to
So
know.
I'll share my experience, and at the same time, it has been so confusing for me and my family to try to really understand how this works because it changes every time. My parents ended up catching COVID, and we were taking care of them, so making sure that they didn't catch it. Well, somehow they caught it, brought it to my house, passed it on to my housekeeper. My housekeeper then passed it on to my wife. I was with my wife maybe for about 3 days, flew out to Tampa to do SmackDown. I found out that Friday morning before we walked into the arena that my housekeeper had tested positive. So I then brought it to their attention. I said, I don't want to be the guy. So
But you tested negative the night before.
yeah, tested negative. We both tested negative. And my daughter, who flew in that Friday morning, had tested negative too. So keep in mind, my daughter, Dominic, and myself were around my housekeeper and my wife. My wife tested negative. My housekeeper tested positive. So then we end up flying back home Saturday. So that Friday was December 11th, my birthday. Saturday, we fly back home in the morning. We were able to fly back because we were negative. Saturday night, I felt really sick. Woke up Sunday with a massive headache. I don't suffer from headaches. No migraines, nothing. My wife, yes. But that Sunday morning, I woke up and I just felt achy, and I was like, I knew right away. I said, something's wrong. I have it. My wife felt the same way. She said she had cold sweats throughout the night. She woke up sick. Okay, so we decided to go get tested on Tuesday, but Sunday and Monday, we were locked in our rooms. We just didn't want to go out and expose Dom or Aaliyah.
Sure.
By this time, my housekeeper was already in one room downstairs, and we were taking care of her. Tuesday, we go get tested. I test positive. My wife tests positive. Dominic tests negative. Aaliyah tests negative. Okay, we go back home, lock up again. Now we're quarantined for the next 11 days. He felt sick that Tuesday night and woke up Wednesday sick. He does the
took
test at home.
I took
Wednesday?
the test Wednesday
And-
night, popped test positive Thursday.
Yes. Aaliyah tested negative once again.
Wednesday. She took the
Yeah,
test
so
with
you
me.
both took the
Yeah.
test. They sent it out, got the results positive, Aaliyah negative. So now he's quarantined. Now the only one that is free is my daughter. Now she's cooking and doing everything for us. We're all locked up in a room.
God bless Aaliyah.
Yes, God bless Aaliyah. And man, she handled it very well. But that's what was so confusing.
How did you feel? Like, I remember we talked, you said like it was like a day or so where you felt pretty shitty, but after that it was...
I had so the first 2 days were really bad in the sense that because I never suffer from headaches.
Right.
My headaches were really bad, and they would come and go. So a lot of Tylenol for that. But besides that, my body was very achy, back specifically.
How
Back
many
and
many
legs.
days did that last?
That lasted about into my third day. I started to feel, I would have moments, bursts of, oh, I feel good. And I would start moving around. And within a matter of an hour, like, feel drained, tired. So, but never lost taste, never lost smell. Overall,
Scale of 1 to 10. How bad was it?
it was probably about a 7.
What would be a 10?
A 10,
Have you been sicker before? Have you ever felt that sick?
I felt sick. It just felt like a really bad flu.
Got it.
Like a really bad flu, like an achy flu. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do shit. I just want to be here in bed. The last day, it's funny because the how I started getting COVID that Saturday night, feeling the way I felt. That's how I ended my last day, which is crazy.
That's weird.
So the last day, I remember waking up and having breakfast, staying in my room, and this is like the 23rd of December. And then we were watching TV, my wife and I, at about 3 p.m. I fell asleep and I passed out. Woke up around 7. I remember you walking into my room several times and asking Mom, "Hey, is he all right? He hasn't woken up."
Sleeping all day, which is very not normal for
Right.
him.
So, and when he would come in, Angie would go, "Hey, are you okay?" "Yeah, I just want to sleep." And I just didn't want to hear anything. I felt my body was drained. So went back to sleep several times. I probably woke up to grab a bite to eat and then went back to sleep, slept throughout the whole night. And the next morning I woke up like a fucking king. Like, wow, I feel great. Just felt good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just felt good, which is crazy. Yeah.
What about you, Dom? How was it, the sick days? How long did that last? How bad was it?
For me, I woke up with a headache Tuesday morning. Actually, no,
morning.
Wednesday morning. I
Yeah.
woke up with a headache, and I had like chills and body aches. So I was only,
sweating
I
too,
was
right?
I was sweating that night, but I wasn't sweating throughout the day. But after I had breakfast and took some Tylenol, my headache went away. My body, like, I felt like I was normal. But then as you know, it was time to go to sleep. My body started getting a little achy. I started getting chills, and I would take Tylenol before bed so I wouldn't wake up with a headache, and I would still wake up with a headache. But it was only for 2 days that happened. And then the other days I was perfectly fine. Like, I could have gone out and played a full football game if necessary.
That's what
like,
you think.
Like, I even told him too. Like, I told him, I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna go downstairs and work out. And he's like, you probably shouldn't do that.
No.
And I was like maybe 5 days in, 6
Yeah.
days in. So like I felt completely fine. But similar situation on my last day, I had like, I woke up kind of like sweaty, like I had like a fever, and then I woke up feeling like even better than all the other days. Like, it was really weird.
It's almost like, here I am, and then 11 days later,
You're gone, yeah.
I'm out of here.
All good now?
Good, yes.
All
Oh,
good, yeah.
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 Yeah, I've heard some weird stories, people that have said months after the fact they still have lingering symptoms, and it's such a weird thing. And I just almost wonder if that's even related, if they did have COVID, if they had other health problems. I think if everybody's focused on COVID and thinking, COVID's the culprit for everything. Exactly. It's all I'm not saying it's all in the mind.
No.
I think that there are certain situations where
Yeah.
our thoughts have the ability to literally make us sick or make us well.
Yes.
And if it's literally being forced down our throats everywhere we go,
Yeah.
it's
I believe that. I remember just hearing people that, oh no, like 2 months after, I still feel some effect. I'm like, how?
how's that physically, medically
I'm
possible?
not saying that it's not true, but how is that possible?
Yeah.
It's like a flu. You have a flu, and it once it's gone, and you're back to normal. You
Yeah.
feel good. You go back to your regular activities.
Sure, people have some pre-existing conditions
Yeah,
that
probably
might be different, but in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, it's good to know that it didn't take you guys. I mean, you guys are here, so that's good.
Yes, hell yeah. A month later.
Yeah, and
a little bit
hopefully,
over a month.
that puts you in a strong position to be immune to the shit for however, hopefully forever.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But we don't know that definitively. Have you heard anything about that? What they're saying?
They kind of flip flop on it.
They
so-
flip flop on
And
it,
you hear
right?
so many stories, right? It's like how do you get the right information?
Well, at this point you can't. It's not. It hasn't been a thing long enough.
So, with that being said, there's nothing better than to just, eat healthy, work out, take the right vitamins, and do it on your own.
Yeah, and do that not just during a global pandemic.
No.
Do that all the time because
That's
it's the
your
right
daily
thing to do.
regimen. Yeah.
You know, instead of focusing on like the right masks to wear, or we were talking before we went on the air about the vaccine.
Yes.
And like people are like, fuck a vaccine, or I'm going to get a vaccine, and like I can't get a vaccine now because I'm not, like, whatever. Like there's a lot of things that you can do. A lot of things that you can do that won't just put you in a strong position to not get COVID or any other illness or disease, but it'll just help you live a just stronger, healthier, better life as well.
Very true.
So, well, look, guys, I want to just wrap this up, but I just can't thank you enough for doing this.
No.
And I want to also say, Ray, I should have found a better place to bring this in, but the relationship that we've had, the work that we've done together, not only has it done some awesome things that we talked about today, but it's had a just organic effect on some of your peers and coworkers, people you've linked us up with, Taker, Edge, who I have an amazing relationship with now. He's like, what an incredible guy. Thank you so much for linking us up. I mean, honestly, him and I, like, we were talking just about every day.
Right.
He's so dialed in, so focused, looks amazing.
Oh my God, I can't imagine. And he's been out for a while, so I can't even imagine how.
Well, at the time that
I know you have.
We'll see him Sunday.
You have a spell on him.
at the time the people are hearing this,
Yes.
it would have already aired, but they announced that.
Yeah.
They announced it that he was going to be coming back for the Rumble, but he looks incredible, and he, like, a lot of good things have happened from, and Randy Orton, all of these people materialize from you, and them seeing you show back up in shape, and just putting in some good words. And it's not only been awesome for me to get to know these guys, work with them, and help them, but it's done some pretty cool things for a company.
That's awesome.
And I appreciate it, man. And I'll never forget that. And I'll probably continue to thank you, because it's something I'm always grateful for.
No, that's the cycle of life, right? You have to help others.
It's it.
If you have the possibility, and you did that for me, and
Well, I think that's a really good time to.
Yeah.
So look, we're over here talking about different people that we've worked with and helped transform. Yourself, several people that you've referred, a lot of other people from the company. Who's next?
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, I mean, Dom, I think Ray and I were talking, and he thought that I should call you out on the podcast.
And yes, he had no idea about this, but I did tell you, what, when we sit down with Chris, try to figure something out. But
Dom, look, here's the
now is
bottom
time.
line. It's time, brother. I've been ready, and I told your dad, like, man, I've just been wanting Dom just to reach out, like, just meet me halfway, and then I'll take care of the rest. I don't want to cram anything down your throat, but when you're ready, man, like, we're gonna make his transformation look like nothing.
Do it.
Yeah.
I've always been about you being better than Dad. So
And I can sign off on that. That is literally everything that we've ever spoken about was always about doing it better than he did. Like, the benchmark is there, and we have that opportunity to evaluate that and then one up it.
how much do you want it?
Yeah. And Dom, you've done the hard part, man. You dropped the weight, and now we got to build. We got to make you look like a Greek god, a statue, a superhero. We got to make you look like some of the guys back in the day.
Chiseled, baby.
Yeah, chiseled. Exactly. And again, I've your dad and I have talked about this multiple times over the years. Like, man, like, I know it's going to happen, and I've seen it, and I know you've shown us that you're willing to do the work. But I want you to know that, just like all these other guys, just like your dad, I am now and will always be here for you to help you do the same things that we've done together.
Thank you.
And we'll do more, and we'll do it better. And I hope that we can start today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
And you don't need me to to call him. You can call him directly now.
Well, he knows
Yeah,
that.
I got his number.
He knows that. He
Before we
knows
go,
that.
man, I wanted to bring you a little.
Oh, some new.
Oh,
Yeah, so this hasn't dropped yet. As
I got that exclusive.
I was wearing it today, but because they sent me,
thank you, brother.
yeah, this hasn't dropped. But I hope you like it, man.
Man, look, you know
This will
my
drop pretty soon.
style.
So Roots of Fight, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for making that happen.
Jesse, Roots of Fight.
Yes.
Oh man, this is sweet.
I'm gonna sneak away real quick because I can't hold it. I hate to be that guy.
Yeah. This is sweet.
And you are that size, right?
Yeah, medium.
Yes.
You
okay.
know I'm a medium.
Okay.
Come on now.
It's medium.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just want to make sure because I know
You
last
gotta
time
paint
I
these
said-
things on me.
Fuck
Thank you,
Jack.
Ray. Thank
Yes,
you.
Yes.
Man, dude, like this company, man, I was fucking with them long before I even met you.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, and it's crazy to see, like, just how the evolution of the company and the fact that the consistent work that you guys have done together, and man, they have really got behind you and keep putting out like new gear and new bags and the jackets and all that. And Jesse was kind enough to send me and Andy Frisilla a care package about 18 months ago, and it was like all the Rey Mysterio gear, and it was pretty dope.
That's cool. That's cool, man. I have a great relationship with Jesse and the staff. You know, every time they're getting release something, they sent out the images, and we take a look at them, and some of the ideas, I've sent out pictures of them from my beginnings, and they'll pick the stuff that they like, then send me the drawings. I'm like, oh my God, this shit is just incredible. So I'm blown away by just their artwork, and everything they do.
Yeah, man, it's good shit.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good. I'm glad that we put Dom on the spot.
Yeah, I think he needed that. Now
Yeah.
he's heard it, so now there's no he's been wanting to take it to that next level. He just obviously there's no guidance as far as where do I start.
He's already started. He's made so much progress. He just needs to get on a little more structured routine and just get that. I mean, when he was here, he had a certain regiment, and it was structured to where, okay, you do this at this time, you do that at that time, you do this time, and you get the fucking result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the day that he tells me, "Come on, let's go. Come on, boss." So I'm really looking forward to that. But my question to you, Chris, and I wanted to ask you this.
Yeah.
The only thing I have a hard time dealing with, and I don't know if it's my age, I don't know if it's an excuse, or I'm just making shit up. I have a very hard time with my consistency.
Yeah.
And
I know what it is.
Remove that.
It's
from
not
my
any of the
life.
things that you just said. It's the fact that you have made a shit ton of money throughout your life. You make a shit ton of money now. And look what that does to us is if we're accomplishing success at the highest level, right? Mm-hmm. Mentally, why would we push ourselves past what's comfortable? Why would we inflict pain on ourselves if we have everything that we'd ever want? And it's very, very normal. And the fact that you just asked me that, like, respect for literally being, having the fortitude to do that. It's just developing an awareness and then just doing the shit anyway.
Yeah.
You're not consistent because maybe you don't want to get up and do the cardio early before you eat, right? You don't want to, you'd rather eat. I mean, look, man, I know you like your food.
Yeah.
I know you Mexicans. I know how you roll. Yeah. Like, look, sometimes, man, like we got to put the immediate gratification on hold so we can get what we really want and what really matters. And if you do that consistently, you can still enjoy a taco or tequila too. Not to, is that racist? No. Is that a racist comment?
Now, if you would have said taco, tequila, and a mask, maybe. But no.
The sombrero?
Yes, the sombrero. No, that makes sense.
It does, and it's such a weird, like, it's like when Conor got that fight with Floyd and got all the money, and then he literally gained like 25 pounds of fat, like he had a big ass belly. He was just chilling. Yeah, he was chilling, and then we got back in the game. But dude, money, I don't say it changes people, but it's like, dude, if you already reached the top, and you have, like, you've reached the top in multiple capacities, you know, like you're one of the greatest to ever do it. All right, this isn't my opinion. It might be my opinion, but it's an opinion that's shared by millions of people and historians and people who are actually evaluate and benchmark this shit. So it's like, you know, when you're not that kid anymore making 150 pesos that has to work his ass off and put in 2 hours the gym and eat on a disciplined schedule so you can hopefully one day get bumped to 250 pesos.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But like we got other reasons why we do shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Legacy and greatness. And, you know, I would never, as your friend, I would never let you close out your career being a shell of your former self, being a chubby, lethargic, slow, weak. That ain't the way we handle our business.
So how about we just make a challenge right here, right now, man? I mean, it is.
Dude, you know I'm always down.
Oh,
you know I'm always ready.
January 30th. We have February, March, so we have 2 months before WrestleMania. Literally 2 months.
What an interesting time.
I know. Huh?
So for those who don't know,
And
WrestleMania.
We did not plan this. This
No,
just
no.
right now.
Well, WrestleMania. So people might know that it's like the biggest event that you guys have, but what a lot of people wouldn't know is that's the event that a lot of the guys and girls step it up. Everybody's training more and eating better because everybody wants to look their best for Mania. And that's usually a benchmark for people to kind of step things up. So yeah, man, that's really, really appropriate.
Time
and bro,
to
in
shine.
2 months, dude, you saw what we did in a month before back in the day.
So that's why I'm like, 2 months is perfect.
Yeah. And now we also, of course, we have to be better than
of course.
2018. That goes without saying.
So I just want to know what the bet is because I'm going against you. I'm looking at you because, and I didn't want to put any pressure, but if you don't want to, if you're scared and you don't want to put something on the line here, that just makes things more
I
interesting.
mean, I'm not scared.
I mean,
You
we
know
do
this.
we do play MLB, you know, and we okay, pair of Louis Vuitton shoes and
Are you still borrowing your dad's luggage and Rolexes?
I'm not.
You're not. I know he does. I know he does. I know. I've seen it. I saw when I saw Dom some bad bag, and like Ray's like, yeah. As soon as he got his first check, I was like, good investment.
Yeah, I mean, I travel with it. I put my
Awesome.
gear in it.
Awesome.
It gets its use. You
So
know.
what's on the line here?
here?
First of all, let's set the parameters here. It's whoever has the most impressive transformation.
Yes, I
It's
think
not
that's it.
Weight loss, weight gain.
That's it.
Whoever has the most impressive transformation. Day one will be Monday. But look, we're all on a timepieces here.
yeah.
What do you think?
What's on the line here?
I mean, you call it. You're the
No,
one
I mean,
paying
you know,
up.
since we're doing the yeah, that's it.
Oh,
A watch.
all right.
There it is.
All right,
Speak no more.
a Rolex watch. You guys have heard it.
Yes.
The
Rolex
Mysterios. It's f***ing on.
Rolex
Man,
is
a lot on the
line.
line.
I love it.
WrestleMania, a Rolex. The winner will be crowned. WrestleMania night.
No matter what, there will be a crown on a wrist.
This is true. Awesome. Guys, this was really, really fun. And hopefully after WrestleMania, we can do like the post WrestleMania conversation, talk about that, talk about the process, and maybe we can even crown the winner on the podcast.
Hey, we're
a lot of
already
different
We're
opportunities.
going to be in town.
Yeah.
We're here, so
That's right.
let's
Yeah,
do it.
you gotta hook me up with some tickets for that. If
Yes.
you could.
I don't know what the
They're
I actually
having
asked-
They're having some fans in there.
They
Not to
should
put
be.
you on the spot or anything. But that'd be pretty.
They should have fans. I mean, NFL is doing it, and that just gives you a different vibe, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would love to go if there were fans and it wasn't like weird. Like if it's gonna be not like fun, I'd rather just watch at home.
No, I think it'll be fun. I think fans are ready to get out and see some wrestling. So I'll definitely keep you posted on that and let you know what's going on with the tickets.
Please do. I expect an
Hell
update
yeah.
Monday.
Hell yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. This was awesome. Rick,
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys. Thank you for having me.
Dom,
Us.
thank you for coming. It's 2 a.m.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's
We hit that 2-hour mark.
That's it, baby. Let's go work. We're gonna go train now.
Let's do
I
it.
trained right before this. But much love, guys.
Likewise.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Chris.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Kick ass this week. and we'll talk to you soon.